You can either build a revenue share group or not build a revenue share group. But the worst thing you can do is build a revenue share group with the wrong people. Because if you build a group of 500 people and they all suck and they're horrible people, you just brought on 500 people to ruin your life.
Viruses.
Yeah. I don't want any of those people in my world. Please, you have a bad attitude. Stay where you are.
Dude, you said something. My phone doesn't ring and I don't check emails. That's what leverage is.
Every email you receive is an item on someone else's to-do list. I built the entire business with my phone because I knew that if I built it with email and a desktop, then I would need email and a desktop. Yeah. And that wasn't the life I wanted to live. So I limited myself. I was like, if I can't build it on my phone, I don't want to do it.
You don't have a lead problem. You don't have a time problem. You actually have a leverage problem, because if your income resets every 30 days, you don't own a business. You simply own a job with better branding. And today we are breaking that cycle, because I'm sitting down with my buddy, Jon Pugh from eXp Realty, and we're going deep on how top agents are building recruiting systems that compound, scale, and actually create freedom. No hype, no theory. We're about to get into it right now. Jon, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, Mike. I was super excited to be here. People ask me to be on podcasts. I always say yes, but yours is about leverage. And that is my absolute favorite topic in the entire world: how we can get more done in the time we have, how we can create opportunities to spend more time doing the things that really matter and living our life to the fullest. So I am thrilled to be here with you talking all things leverage and giving some of my favorite tips, stories, insights, etc., as to how I've leveraged my life to allow myself to align with the things on a day-to-day basis that I really love to do.
Dude, you said something at the start of the show, actually before we hit record. You said, my phone doesn't ring and I don't check emails. That's what leverage is.
Correct.
Talk to us about that. Let's come out of the gate, bro. Like, tell us how to keep our phone from ringing and not having to check emails.
For sure, man. So number one is like, you have to teach people how to treat you. So if you're just available any time of day, then they're going to call you any time of day. For whoever's listening to this, you would never like ask your accountant if they could come to your house 4 o'clock on a Saturday. You have an appointment. You want to go see your accountant. You go see them 10 a.m. at their office. All business professionals work on a schedule, and yet some business professionals or non-professionals, a lot of real estate agents who might be listening to the show, they just have a calendar that's open-ended. It could be anytime, any day, anywhere.
Yeah.
Every email you receive is an item on someone else's to-do list. Okay. I never gave anybody permission to email me. Maybe like Best Buy or something when I checked a box on accident. I don't want your email. So don't email me. Email my staff. Email my assistant. But if you want to get a hold of me, there's places where I know I'm going to be, and you can be there too. One of the pieces of leverage that I do is I do group coaching every Wednesday from 3 to 4. Mm-hmm. And I treat it like office hours. So if you want FaceTime with me, I'm always there. If I was like, hey, I'm going to be at the mall at this time or whatever, you want to find me, that's where you can find me.
You know where I'm going to be. Here's where I'm going to be.
That's where I'm going to be. And then if you want to get a hold of me, text me, because I have over 1,000 agents in my eXp revenue share organization. I built the entire business with my phone because I knew that if I built it with email and a desktop, then I would need email and a desktop. Yeah. And that wasn't the life I wanted to live. So I limited myself. I was like, if I can't build it on my phone, I don't want to do it.
And that's super easy duplicatable, right? Because with agent attraction, you don't want to build something that other people can't easily duplicate.
100%.
Now, most agents get into the business thinking transactions equal success. At what point did you realize like that's not the real game?
Man, a long time. It was like transactions. And then I was sold the lie that I think most people are sold, which is build a team. Build a team, a traditional team, and then scale to a point when you don't have to work every day. And my business partner says this, and I love this quote: every agent on your team is another bar on your cage.
Wow. Man. And you're ruffling some team leader feathers right now. Talk to us about that. It's the truth
though, man. I don't know very many happy team leaders. I don't know a lot of team leaders with a team of 20, 30, 40 agents who love their life. And I know less who have a team of 2 or 3, because it just anchors you and your profitability drops. Like, you're better off just selling houses by yourself, going and getting 5 really specific VAs Get a VA who does all your social media. Get a VA who does all your video editing. Get a VA who does all your admin tasks. Get a VA who does all your transaction coordination. Like, go get 5 very specialized VAs and be a solo agent and live a great life.
Yeah.
But
And
don't bring
guess
on,
what? And that is the team.
That is the team. That's the team you want to run. But don't bring on, please do not bring on 4 buyer's agents and act like you're going to have any freedom. With no admin, by the way. Because if that's what I did at first, I started building a team. I had 9 agents and no staff. And I was the staff. I was the admin. And my life sucked. And I was making no money. It was terrible. So I think that at the end of the day, I realized that this myth of a 7th level team was really just that. It was a myth. I didn't know anybody who had built one and who was retired by doing so. And I was still obsessed with this idea of expansion. And I really wanted to grow beyond my local market. And the reason for that is I wanted to help more people. So when I was selling houses, I could only help the number of people that I could sell houses to. And then when I built a team, I could only help the number of people that were on my team and the number of people they could sell houses to. But I knew that I could help thousands of people around the world. And so that's why I set out to build a revenue share organization. I look at my rev share organization like my team. And last year we did over $3 billion in transactions and we sold over 5,000 homes. And that's over 5,000 kitchens that some dad will teach his daughter how to dance in.
I love that, bro.
That is impact at a high level. So leverage and scale go hand in hand. They're tied together.
You know, there's a lot of kitchens that daddies don't get a chance to dance with their daughters in, or mommies don't get a chance to dance with their sons in, or however the family dynamic is, primarily because of freedom. And so we're going to get into the freedom conversation here a little bit, because so many agents and team leaders, they're so busy getting business that these agents are losing the very time that they say that they're working to have with the same family as these kids are growing up. And missing time with mom and dad.
The agent who has no structure to their business, they have no bandwidth, they have no leverage. They're like, oh, but I'm providing for my family. So they come in the door like this and their kid comes up to run and give them a hug and say, Daddy, you're home, whatever. And they like stiff arm the kid.
Oh.
And they're like, not right now. Like, shh, Daddy's on the phone. Or I've even been this guy who's been like, put it on mute and been like, be quiet, I'm on a call. And then like, and it's like, bro, you got the whole thing reversed.
You just shifted everything.
Don't come in the house until you're ready to have the energy to like receive your children in a perfect world.
If you guys are hearing this, it's already hitting you. Take a screenshot, like tag us and share the one belief about your business that you're starting to question, because I know there's something. Whether you're thinking about building a team, you already have that team, or you're already starting to feel some of the stress that we're talking about right now. So let's address the elephant in the room, Jon. Revenue share. I want you to strip the hype.
Yeah.
Why does this actually matter?
I don't know any business that scales infinitely that doesn't also scale with liability. So the most appealing thing for me with revenue share is I sold over 5,000 homes last year through my team, but I didn't have liability on any of those transactions. So it allows me to impact a high degree of people, 1,000 agents in a variety of ways, some very directly, some at scale. And it allows me to impact their communities, but it doesn't hold me accountable for a mistake or something stupid that they might do. So when you own a brokerage, you've got your staff, you've got your agents, and everything is liability. When you have a team and you sell a lot of houses under your own personal team production, you have a lot of liability. If you have a pizza shop, you have a lot of liability. Like any business you start, one of the biggest things that prevents people from scaling to a very high degree is they can't sleep at night because they know that there's so many points of liability.
Yeah.
For me, agent attraction was the opportunity to help an unlimited number of people, to impact an unlimited number of communities while not scaling my liability and while not being paid directly by anyone. So I have one of these complexes, I know a lot of people do, where I hate taking people's money. If I do take people's money, I feel obsessed with adding way more value than I need to. So like, Mike, if you were going to pay me $1,000, I would need to give you $10,000 worth of value back.
Yeah.
Or $100,000 worth of value back. And that can become prohibitive in our relationship. Whereas if we align together through revenue share, then EXP is going to pay me a portion of the money that you pay them. And all I have to do is make sure that you are connected to everything you need in order to hit your goals so that you stay in this environment.
bring them to the right tables, bring them in the right rooms, introduce them to the right people, show them the right resources and tools that we have available to them, but you're not responsible for their success.
I say all the time, when you're trying to attract agents to this model or any revenue share model or anything like this, you are not the DJ. I mean, you got headset, microphone, like you look like a DJ, but you are not the DJ. Like they're not here to see you. You're just the guy with the backstage passes. Like, yo, we got a party happening tonight. It's going to be awesome. I got a booth for you right up front, right next to the DJ mic. And I got backstage passes. You want to check it out? Like, that's the invitation. I'm not recruiting them to me. Like, sure, I bring a ton of value, but I'm not recruiting people to me. I'm bringing them into our environment. And I'm saying, hey, what are your goals? Everyone has two things in life. This is really important. There's two meaningful things for every single person, whether they're exploring changing into any type of new role or new company or anything. And you need to understand this in order to help people get where they want to go. You need to know the thing they're running away from, and you need to know the thing they're running towards. And if I can only choose one of the two, I want to know the thing they're running away from. So if I can help them find an environment that solves the problem, that eases the pain, that gets them away from this thing that they're running away from, like I work too much, I'm not making enough money, I don't have a consistent lead generation platform, like whatever that thing is, it's always the same problems. Every real estate agent I've ever met has the same 7 problems. If you can figure out which of those 7 problems is most pertinent and introduce them to an environment that solves that problem and moves them closer to where they ultimately want to go, then that's all anybody ever needs.
So talk to the skeptical agent making great money right now. Like, why should they even take a look at this? Why does this revenue share model matter if they're already doing well, making money?
I think there's a couple of reasons. So Mike, can I walk you through a simple exercise?
Please.
If you're just selling houses, okay? It's a one-legged stool. You're at a traditional brokerage. You've got a one-legged stool. You sell houses, you make money. You sell houses, you make money.
One of the top agents in the office.
You're the best one. You want best year ever this year. How many houses would you sell?
Do I run a team or is it just me?
Either way, I don't care.
All right. My team sells about 300 homes a year.
You sell 300 homes. Awesome, Mike. At the end of that, how much gross commission will you make?
I don't know. I don't know how much they make. They're selling 300 homes a year.
$5 million. Put a number on it.
$5 million is what I make.
You make $5 million. Awesome. Now you run a big team. You sell 300 homes and you make $5 million a year. But we all know that's not profit. So how much are your expenses?
I run right around a 21%
profit margin.
Yeah,
you're one of the best in the entire business if that's the case. Most teams doing 5 million in GCI run at 5 or 10% profit. But let's just hypothetically say you're at 20%. I'll let you roll with that. Okay. So you got 20%. That means out of the 5 million that you gross, you keep $1 million. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Now, the rest of it goes to pay like leases and CRMs and technology and broker splits and E&O insurance and all the other stuff that you got to deal with, right? Gas and signs and marketing and all that stuff. Staff, admin, all the stuff that keeps you up at night, by the way. Okay, so you got $1 million left. How much of that goes to taxes?
A lot. 40%.
40%, unless you're doing cost segregation, depreciation, and some of the other stuff that you might be doing. But most likely you're paying like, let's say 40%. So you're left with 600 grand. Of the 600,000, how much do you live off of?
About 50% of it.
You like nice things. Okay. So you're balling out. You're going 300K, right? Yeah. But even let's be conservative. Let's say you live off 200K. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You have 400,000 left. I'm going to give you Sophie's choice. You have 2 options. They're both wrong. You have 400 grand. Where do you put the money? Do you either leverage it and put 25% down on a $1.6 million property? Or do you buy a $400,000 property outright?
I'd probably buy it outright.
Okay, you buy it outright. You have no debt on it.
Yeah.
What's your cash flow on a $400,000 property bought outright, accounting for vacancy, repairs, whatever the case may be?
Probably about, in this market, right around $3,000 a month. Okay,
you make $3,000 a month. You know, you got to chunk 1 month off for vacancy, repairs, whatever the case may be, but making roughly $2,800, $3,000 a month on this $400,000 that you invested. And yes, you have some tax benefits and you have long-term appreciation, but from a cash flow perspective, you're making about $3,000. How many hours did it take you to sell $5 million worth of real estate, 300 homes sold, running a team, the $4 million of overhead that you had that year and everything else? What went into all that?
Somewhere around 60 hours a week.
60 hours a week comes out to like 2,800 hours a year. So you just put in 2,800 hours to make $3,000 a month. If you put in 2,800 hours, how many agents could you bring in to your organization? Because I know that I brought in one agent every other month, doing this with 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. I worked only 1,000 hours a year. And working 1,000 hours a year, I was able to sponsor one agent every other month. And now I have over 1,000 agents in my group because I had 25 amazing leaders that came in. And I make way more than 3,000 a month in this. So in order to make 3,000 a month in revenue share, you only need a handful of people. So could you take the same amount of time? I always look at it this way, like you would never go run errands and go from your house to Costco and then back to your house and then to you wouldn't go to the groomer and then across town. You would go a more efficient way. And so I always say running a team and selling $5 million of real estate to net 1 million to keep 400,000 in profit after everything that you invest to make 3,000 a month in cash flow. That's like riding your bicycle to Costco. You're not going to be able to get that stuff home on your back. Like imagine all the stuff from Costco in your backpacks. There's just a faster way to do it. Why not go straight
more
to the
efficient
source
way
of
of doing
cash
it.
flow? Why are you going the long way when what you desire is 3,000 a month in cash flow anyway?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, what I'm desiring is the cash flow without the required amount of time that I've been putting in to get equal or better results.
I could yield a better result in a quarter of the time. And I'm not telling you not to sell houses. Like just brick off a piece of your time, sell a few less houses, take a little bit of that time and add value to the real estate industry. And by adding value to the real estate industry, you will grow your agent attraction business. I'm not saying become a recruiter. I'm not saying make cold calls. I'm saying take the experience that you have and the relationships that you have. You still got to sell. Like you're selling houses, you're meeting agents, you know people. All you're doing is saying, hey, it looks like in that boat over there, you've got 4 holes and you've only got 2 fingers plugging them. And I just think that if you came over here, you might have more fun, sell more houses, do it in a better way. Like, would you want to check out our environment? You want to take a peek behind the curtain?
Yeah. I can tell you, when I started making $500 a month in rev share, I was ecstatic, bro. It was already paying my car note, well, getting real close to paying my car note. I only had I think I only had 25 agents or something. But it was like, let's be honest, some of the agents were selling and many of them weren't. So I was only making money off of what EXP was making off of the agents who were creating revenue. But I was making $500 a month and I was like, this is sweet. And then I remember when it grew to 1,000 and then 2,000. And then, so once it got to about like $3,000 a month, it was something that I hadn't even thought that far.
For $500, and like $500 extra per month, about half the bankruptcies in America wouldn't happen. So the reason that I coach on agent attraction and I'm passionate about it is not so agents can make $10 or $20 or $30,000 a month or more, which I know a lot of people who make that. For me, it's the $500. It's the how can we prevent agents who are living paycheck to paycheck, agents who are living closing to closing, struggling to get by. How can I make sure that if they have a bad month, they don't go bankrupt? How can I make sure, like my favorite stories are the ones where they're like, man, I built my revenue share to $2,500 a month and it allowed me to get my husband to quit his job that he hated because he was providing our insurance. And that extra money covered our monthly health insurance so that my husband could quit his job and come into the business with me. Now we work together. Now we've grown our production. We make more money. He's happier. We go on vacations. Those are the stories. That's why I coach agent attraction. 20, 30,000 is for people who are dead serious, people who want to be leaders, people who want to run a brokerage inside a brokerage and have this ultimate leverage. But the average agent, man, $3,000 would cover their cap. $3,000 would pay for those vacations they're not going on. $3,000 would give them a budget to try something in the marketing world that they never would have had the guts to try. But now they're playing with house money and they're like, okay, I can afford to try YouTube. I'm going to put $3,000 a month towards YouTube and see if it changes my life in a way where before they just didn't have that disposable income to be able to invest in that and take that risk.
Man, that's good, dude. Listen, guys, if you've only been thinking in commissions, and I'm talking to you, I want you to write this down. Where can I create income that doesn't reset every month. Because that's important. And John's hitting on this right now. We're talking about average, right? Even if you're averaging $500 a month in this system, or averaging, like you said, $3,000 a month, some months will be higher, some months will be lower, but you'll find that it gradually grows over time as you continue to put time into this. And at some point, you don't have to put as much time into it, right?
In the sales world, no matter how good you are, and I work by referral. I still sell houses and I work by referral. By the way, everybody listening, Orange County, California, Huntington Beach, Newport Beach, Irvine, anywhere in Orange County, send me your referrals. That being said, I don't care how good you are at referrals. If you sell 20, 30, 50 homes a year, on January 1st, you are starting over. You go up and erase the scoreboard, reset everything to zero, and you want to sell another 50 homes that year, 100 homes that year, you want to double your business, you got to go from 0 to 100, 0 to 50.
Do it again.
You're at the 0 yard line. When you do agent attraction, whatever you did in the first year, say you bought on 20 agents total, and you're making $200 a month, hypothetical, like really bad, but like worst case scenario, 20 agents, $200. Now you're starting with 20 agents and $200. And at the end of the next year, you might have 50 agents and it might be 500. And then at the end of the next year, it might be 100 agents and it might be $2,000. So every year you get to start out further and further and further down the field. When I started this year, on day one, I started with 900 agents. On day one. My choices, my life, everything is so much different because I know where my base is, where my foundation is.
Mm-hmm.
And then every year I just get to layer on top of that foundation. And that gives me more time to pour into agents, more time to pour into my community, more time to spend with my family, more time to give back. That's the beauty of this. And then because I have that time to allocate into the areas that I want to, I can level up as a person. I can bring more people along for the ride. I can continue to get better. And this whole thing can continue to grow.
See, you're known for building systems that actually duplicate. And this is why I wanted to have you on today, because you're not just rah-rah recruiting, but we're talking about like real structure.
Sure.
So break it down for us. If I was to drop into your business today, what are the first 3 systems that you would install?
Oh, that's awesome. So what do you want to do? You want to grow your team? You want to grow your rev share group?
Yeah, rev share. Or like onboarding, pipeline frameworks,
first thing,
all of that stuff.
Build a list of 200. There's about a 30% turnover at any brokerage at any time. So if you build a list of 200 agents, about 30% of them are going to move that year, which means you're going to have about 60 people who are likely to move. So if I build a relationship with 200 people, and that's my pipeline, and I'm looking for referrals from those people as well, then I know about 60 people are going to move. I'm not going to get all 60. Let's say I get 20% market share of the ones who move. That gives me 12. 200 becomes 60, becomes 12. That's 1 per month. If I can sponsor 1 great agent per month, then I can hit any goal I've ever set. Then the second piece is who's on the list. Are they quality agents? Because we can sponsor 200 brand new agents and it's
That's
probably
right.
not going anywhere. But if what we can control when we make a list is we can control who's on it. Are they leaders? Are they broker owners? Do they run a team? Do they have a book? Do they have a podcast? The person who brought in Mike Collier, that person's smart because this is a legitimate dude who has influence. The person who brought me in, that was a good idea. So who is on the list is very important. And then how you communicate with them systematically. So you need to know your relationship score, scale of 1 to 10, your EXP interest score, scale of 1 to 10. You need to know their biggest pain point. You need to know when you're going to contact them next. That's called the next touch date. So if we talk and you want to come to a mastermind on Monday, well, the next touch date is Sunday to remind you about the mastermind. But if we talk and you're like, I just joined Compass and I took a big contract and in 3 years I can't leave and whatever, then I probably don't need to call you next week. I can probably call you every 3 to 6 months. And then we talk more often as we get close to your contract expiring. And so when I do that, I narrow down the number of people I need to communicate with on a weekly basis. This same system works for your sales business too. So sales and agent attraction are the exact same thing. So you just build a pipeline. Personally, I like social media. So I would connect with all these people on social media and I would create a systematic way that I go and I become engaged in their world. So the biggest mistake I see in both sales and agent attraction is agents try more marketing than they do prospecting. So they post every day, but like go scroll through Instagram and see how many comments are on the average post. It's not many, if any.
Not
many likes either. When someone posts on the internet, they're saying, look at me, give me attention, I want to talk. So can you take your list of people that you want to build a relationship with and go be proactive about engaging on their content? Are you commenting on their posts? Are you being thoughtful? Are you responding to their stories? Because that is a great way to engage people. So social media at a high level is one of my favorite ways. Another one that I really like is getting belly to belly. So I think you need to go to 4 non-EXP events per year to go get belly to belly with agents out there. Because every day you're at EXP, your influence diminishes. And so you don't have relationships with people outside because you're in our ecosystem. You're in our club. The music's loud. You can't hear what's going on outside. So you've got to go get belly to belly with people outside of that and network and just ask them these questions. Where are you from? How much do you sell? What's your biggest pain point? If you could improve one thing in your business, what would it be? And then take that stuff back with you and go find the things that they need and call them up and be like, hey, we met 2 weeks ago in Miami. You said you want to get better at open houses. I have this amazing resource I'd love to share with you. You want to take a look at it? Let's get on Zoom. I'll show you everything. And then once you show them that, then you're like, hey, if you like that, that's just the tip of the iceberg. When can we get on a call with Mike or John and go through the details of this so that I can show you everything we have to offer? And then you just ask them, you're like, how does this compare to the environment you're currently in? And 9 out of 10 times they're like, dude, this is way better. And I'm like, cool, you want to talk financials? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, by the way, it's cheaper too. It's better and cheaper. But they've been told a story. Frequently, people have been told a story from wherever they work that supports wherever they work. So don't go to EXP. It's just about recruiting. Don't go to EXP. Their logo's ugly. You'll never sell luxury there. Blah, blah, blah. There's all this propaganda that agents believe because they're comfortable. And look, nobody wants to sell their house and move. Nobody wants to sell their house and move. That's a pain in the butt.
No.
Got to pack boxes.
Nobody enjoys moving.
It's a pain to pack your house and move. Nobody wants to switch brokerages either. But you know what? On the other side of this short-term pain might be something that changes your life in a meaningful way in the long run. So is it worth at least knowing? Like I always tell people, are you 100% sure you know what you're saying no to?
I like
because
that
until
question.
you can tell me you're 100% sure you know what you're saying no to, then you're just saying no to what you think you know.
That's good. That helps to siphon out the quality of the agent that you're talking to. Because if you're talking to just a closed-minded agent who doesn't really care whether they know facts or hearsay, then it's probably not the agent that you actually want to be partnered with anyway. There are levels.
What are your
this.
core values? So if you don't lead with your core values in recruiting, then you're going to attract people who don't align with your core values. So I want to work with people who are coachable, who are open to opportunity, who want to have fun, who are kind and treat other people with respect. So if I call you up or I talk to you online and you're rude, maybe you're just having a bad day, but maybe you don't fit my core values. If you're not open to just hearing what we might have to offer, then you might not be coachable. And if you're not coachable, you probably won't win in our environment. And so maybe you're not a fit. The worst thing you can do is not building a revenue share group is not the worst thing. You can either build a revenue share group or not build a revenue share group. But the worst thing you can do is build a revenue share group with the wrong people. Because if you build a group of 500 people and they all suck and they're horrible people, you just brought on 500 people to ruin your life.
Viruses.
I don't want any of those people in my world. Please, you have a bad attitude, stay where you are.
Yeah, and you can bring on energy vampires. These energy vampires, they're constantly just sucking energy out of you, and they suck the energy and the oxygen out of every room that they go into, and people are like, whose guy is this? And you're like, yeah, that's my guy.
I am frequently complimented. You know? People always tell me, you have the best agents in your group. And the reason why that makes me so happy is because they're in alignment with my vision. Like I wanted to grow a group of heart-based leaders. And so, I have really awesome agents in my group because I was really particular about who I went and built relationships with.
Yeah. Where do most agents overcomplicate this all? Because You make it sound super
It is
easy.
super easy.
And I've been growing my revenue share group since I started at EXP back in 2019. Nowhere to the tune of 1,000 agents as of yet. But where do most agents overcomplicate this? Because I know people who've been at the company longer than I have and still haven't even started with this
They
yet.
recruit down. So they say, well, I sold 10 million, so I can only go after $5 million producers. And then the people they recruit $2 million producers. And then the people they recruit brand new agents, and it never goes anywhere. Second, it's just like fitness. It's just like the gym. So basically they will go once a month for 6 hours and then they just get injured. You got to do it every day. So agents are addicted to active income. So they put this last. So they're like, oh, I got to respond to emails. No, you don't. I got to do this. I got to do that. And these are all more important. And so then they're like, I'll do agent attraction later. And then agent attraction never happens. And then the next day and the next day. So it's like, if this doesn't rise to the top of your calendar and happen early and happen systematically, then it's not going to happen. So I think like 15 minutes of consistent effort a day is better than like 6 hours once a month.
Yeah.
Going after the wrong people, just not getting started, just telling themselves some story. Oh, I don't want to be a recruiter. Like I always tell people, I'm like, you don't recruit people you don't like. Nobody's ever been like, I want to go recruit. Like nobody ever was like, oh, I love the Rams. Oh, we're going to go recruit the player with the worst attitude. We're going to recruit the player who dropped the most passes. Like, no, you go recruit the best players.
The people you actually want to be on a team
Wade
with.
wanted to win a championship. He didn't email the league. Anybody want to play in Miami? He called up LeBron James and he's like, yo, you want to come to South Beach and check it out? It's pretty rad. And I don't think he was like, and if you buy your own ticket, people all the time, they invite people to events and they're like, yeah, if you buy your own ticket, buy your own plane ticket in your hotel and I got a guest pass for you. Like, that's not how you recruit LeBron James. You call LeBron James up and you're like, bro, I'm sending a PJ. I got a party with your name on it. You want to go get somebody of high caliber, treat them like a high caliber recruit.
And you leverage the fact that you already have Chris Bosh right next to you.
I got
like,
a Mount
bro,
Rushmore
it's not just going to be me.
Superstars.
I got a whole group over here that I would love for you to meet, and they want to do business with you
all
too.
day. Can you make it? I'm going to introduce you to 20 people that will change your life. And I'm sending the plane and I'm paying for the hotel room. And when you get to the hotel, when you land at the airport, here's some free tips for everybody. When they land at the airport, is someone standing there with their name on a white piece of paper ready to take them to the hotel? Look at that. That is appropriate. That is ready. Get them a transfer, get them a shuttle or get them a limo. And then when they get to the hotel, is there a gift basket inside their room with a handwritten note telling them how excited you are? And then, by the way, they left their wife at home with their 3 kids. You know what that was like, Mike? You had to play dad all weekend. Your wife was busy working. You know how hard that is when the wife's out of town or the husband's out of town?
Yeah.
Do you send flowers to the house saying, thanks for letting us borrow your spouse? Do you arrange for a massage or something for the spouse? And when you send the recruit home, do you send them home looking like trash? 3 days in Vegas, partied, bloodshot, smelling like that?
It'll be the last time they ever take a trip with you.
Is that how you send
I
them home
promise
to
you
their
that.
spouse to talk about coming over to this company? What do you think their spouse is going to say? You're never going to EXP. You come back, you're like, yeah,
never
baby,
again.
It was a great trip. Like, they're never joining. You got to send them home full of knowledge, information, with great connections, fresh face, no bloodshot eyes, no crazy partying.
Yeah. Send them home and make their spouse remember what they used to feel like or what they used to look like back when they were still excited about
with a ton of energy.
Where they were.
Excited about the next opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to select the wrong agent, and it's also easy to maybe even identify the type of agent that you would want to attract or recruit to be in business with you. But how do you uniquely position yourself so that the right agents come to you?
I think it's about building personal relationships. People join people, they don't join organizations. And I think you can personal brand so far so that you see unicorns out there who've done it. The Mike Sherrards, the Go-Go's, like there are people who have built such a strong personal brand that people just come to them. Amy Gregory is one of my favorite examples. She's very clear on her avatar. She's very good at marketing. She's very good at putting you in her funnel, and she has a system and people come to them. I think for the average agent though, which is who I'd really prefer to speak to, I think it's just about having that list and being intentional about developing relationships. You choose who comes to you because you go to them. You got to be proactive. If you become known for one thing and you're really good at that one thing, you will attract people. So if you are the best at open houses, if you are the best at YouTube, if you can just take one thing and make that your specialty, people who want to do that will come to you. being consistent and putting yourself out there. Gogo always says, like, people ask her, how often should I post on social media? And her response is, well, only on the days you want to be successful. So I just think that too many people open the door, have a sign that says we're open, come in, whatever, and wait for people to come in, and they don't. And then they're like, well, I can't do agent attraction. That's just not true. You need to go meet them at their door. You need to door knock the neighborhood. And if you're not door knocking digitally, then you need to be door knocking at a conference, or you need to be door knocking at broker preview, or you need to be door knocking at open houses. You need to go where the real estate agents are.
Go where they are. That's right. Well, what type of content actually converts agents rather than just getting attention?
I think if you host an event and you have a valuable training, I think that works. I think content promoting trainings, content promoting community, content promoting events. Many people come to EXPCon. We have an amazing event called EXPCon once a year. We have 10,000 agents who show up. Every single agent who goes gets a free guest pass. 9,500 agents don't use their guest pass. That's crazy. Everybody who's there should have a guest with them. So if you aren't creating a post talking about how amazing it's going to be, and then proactively trying to find someone to take your guest pass, people don't come to these events and look around and be like, this sucks. People come to these events, they look around, they're like, they're like, Mike Collier's on stage. That guy's rad. You like hosted the last one or something. People love these events. Why are you coming and have an empty seat next to you when that seat could be filled by like a $200 million producer who would thank you? Like, nobody's ever come to EXPCon left and been like, man, you're such a jerk. I can't believe you brought me here. This is the worst. No, they're very happy that you brought them.
And the next one's going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. So 2026.
Bring a guest. And by the way, everyone is not bringing a guest. So you could bring an unlimited number of guests because you could go get all those other people's guest passes.
Because they are not going to use them.
Why are you not bringing 20 guests?
As you're talking about that, the takeaway for me is if you're talking to everyone, you're going to convert no one because you have to get so specific. And it's like, who do you actually want to build with? And then go where they are. Go, like you said, seek them out. Don't wait for them to find you. You've already found them. So cut through the noise and go 100%. Talk to them. Speaking of cutting through the noise, who should not join EXP? What's the dark side of revenue share?
I think if you're really happy where you are and you already know how you're going to retire or you're getting out of the business, again, it's a case-by-case basis. So I think there's a case to be made that anybody can join EXP. I think you shouldn't come to EXP if you need things done for you. I guess that's the best answer. If you're somebody who needs your tushy wiped, Leo says it best. We're a platform for entrepreneurs, entrepreneur-minded agents. So if you need somebody to do all your marketing and you can't hire a marketing person or figure it out on Fiverr or whatever, if you need an in-house department, you have to have a cubicle in an office that someone else pays for, and it has to be free because it's not free. You pay it with your split, but like whatever. But if you're that person, you have to have an unlimited number of free copies from the copy machine that Coldwell Banker pays for or whatever. Then like stay where you are and have your tissue wiped forever. And just know you're paying for it. Someone's paying for it.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah. What's the fastest way to fail in this model?
I think the fastest way to fail is not get started. Put it off. Put it at the bottom of your priority list. The best way to fail is to put it at the top of your priority list, do it every day and learn from your mistakes. It's like just start having conversations.
And then just continuous improvement.
And just like do it every day until you get good at it. But if you want to actually fail, put it at the bottom of your priority list, never get to it, never get started, wake up in 5 years and wish you had.
You know, another thing is, I think chasing people is a quick way to fail. Chasing people versus building value.
I agree. I think what doesn't work is, hey, do you want to join? Hey, do you want to join? Hey, do you want to join? Hey, why haven't you joined? Even worse is, you're such an idiot. I can't believe you're paying Compass this much money. Or I can't believe you're paying Remax this much money. Telling people they're stupid is, from firsthand experience, is not a good strategy. I've done that. Lost some friends. Like, not a good play. Even if they are stupid. Even if you care, you're saying it from like, I love you. You're being an idiot. It's not effective.
It's like the agents who make the content about clients and how dumb clients are if they're not using using them as an agent or something.
But I think you can and should chase people you care about in the right way to say, hey, I'm going to continue to add value until you're ready. And I'm going to continue to add value and make you a referral partner. So Mike, you may never come join me at EXP, but would you introduce me to people who might? I'll help you grow your business where you are if you help connect me to people who might be making a move.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. I think that's something that gets left on the table. You said this earlier. This is a lot like the sales side of an agent's business.
It's the
right?
exact same.
You list houses, you list agents. You have some kind of value proposition for buyers and sellers. You have a value proposition for agents, right?
Yep.
It's all the same thing.
1,000%. It's no different. And that's why anybody can do it, because you already know how to do it.
You're already doing it. Yeah. If revenue share disappeared tomorrow, though, would your business still work?
For sure. My business is a business of relationships. So I could use that in any business. Coaching, sales, revenue share, everything. Everything comes down to relationships.
I agree. As you're listening to this, guys, be honest with yourself. Are you building something sustainable? Are you just surviving the next deal and hoping that the next deal is coming, hoping that the next referral is coming? It's a very important question to be asking yourself, because the industry is changing. It's always been changing, but I think even more now than ever. There's news headlines hitting every single day, and agents are wondering what the future of real estate looks like and is going to look like for them. And so it's important to have this conversation. Jon, question for you. I want to call this kind of our hot seat round. I'm just going to hit you with a few questions, and I want you to tell me your thoughts. So closings or conversations, which matters more long-term?
Conversations.
Okay.
More people you talk, the more opportunities you have for closings.
Absolutely. Best recruiting advice in one sentence.
Care about people more than you care about the outcome.
All right. Biggest mistake that new builders make?
They're not consistent. They don't hire a coach. They don't have an accountability partner. They don't do it every day.
What's one mindset shift that changed everything?
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Most agents are stuck because
they don't follow their calendar.
Or even put things into their calendar.
They generally put things in, but none of them have any value and they don't follow it. And so their calendar's worthless.
That's good, man. That's very true. I've been guilty of that many, many times in my days. Sometimes I have to check myself on that. If somebody's listening right now, let's say they're stuck in the transaction treadmill and they know that there's more, but they really just don't know where to start. What's the first move they need to make this week?
I would reach out to me or you or both of us and have a conversation about what it could look like to partner at EXP. I think that, just talking to somebody, you don't have to make a move. I'm not going to pressure anybody. You're not going to pressure anybody, but just be open-minded. Start doing some exploration. Start doing some homework on your own. Go on the internet, do some research. That's what I think. And if you're not open to switching brokerages, then you have to build a plan for passive income and leveraged income so that you can get out of it someday.
And for the agent that's at EXP, they're listening to this and going, man, that dude knows what he's talking about. Like, I need some of that accountability. I need a plan. I don't have any structure around what I'm doing, but I do believe that rev share is important. I believe that having passive income is important. What can they do?
Yeah,
can
reach out to me.
You?
So my personal Instagram is at
It's
Jon Pugh. My business Instagram is at Agent Attraction Playbook. So reach out to me and let's chat. I would be more than happy to help point you in the right direction. I have an e-course. I do group coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. I do boot camps. I do one-off like blueprint calls where if you say you saw me on Mike's podcast, I'll even give you a free blueprint call because you're a friend of the show. So yeah, happy to help people. I love to talk to EXP agents. I love to talk to agents that are at other rev share models. Like, happy to help anybody grow.
Yeah. So if somebody's a team leader or an independent broker, they're listening to this, maybe you sent it to them, I sent it to them, or somebody shared it with them, and they want to understand a better recruiting model and what they can do.
Yeah,
they can
let's
also
get on
reach
the
out
call.
to you as
I do
well.
coaching for independent brokers and all kinds of people. So if anybody heard this and there's value here or they have follow-up questions, I love people. I'm a people person. So reach out to me on any platform. I'm easy to find. If you can't find me, that is a problem. So I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find me, and let's connect. Let's chat.
Listen, if this episode challenged you, good, because that means you're thinking differently. Because the goal isn't just to close more deals. The goal is to build something that keeps paying you long after the deal is done. So listen, make sure you subscribe, share this with somebody who's stuck in the grind, and tag us on your biggest takeaway. We're not here to play the game better. We're here to change the game entirely. This is the Leverage Lounge. I'm Mike Collier. We'll see you real soon.